A common question in BITalino users that want to go freestyle is how to arrange and connect each individual block, so today we'll see just that. If you have a BITalino board or a BITalino plugged, the first step is to detach each individual block from the main boards. To do that, firmly hold with each hand the H-shaped part of the board and the block you want to detach. Then, jiggle it up and down until the block becomes loose. Optionally, you can also take it out with an X cutter or a scissors. For this example, we repeated the previous step for the EMG accelerometer, MCU, power, and Bluetooth, which are the blocks we will be using. To guarantee that your blocks will be the smallest size possible, scrape off the reminders of the connecting parts between the block and the main board. A good block to start working on is the MCU. Solder headers or small wires to the pins on the long end of the board, which is where the Bluetooth will go. Depending on your BITalino model, you must apply a droplet of solder to connect the two pads shown in the picture. Next, I'll show you how it should look. After the previous step, this is how the pads should look, otherwise your Bluetooth block won't be powered on. Afterwards, solder headers or small wires to the pins shown in the picture. This is where the power block will go. How you place your sensors is up to your imagination. In this case, we'll put the accelerometer on the base of the MCU block. To guarantee that there are no short circuits, we put isolating tape on the base of the accelerometer prior to leaving it in its final position. Solder small wires between the pins on the sensor block and the appropriate pins on the MCU. In this case, we're showing the connection of the X-axis. Repeat the previous step for the other channels and also for the VCC and ground pins. This should complete the accelerometer block. Now align the Bluetooth pins with the previously connected wires or headers. Note that the back of the Bluetooth is isolated, so no tape is needed here. Apply solder to bond the pins on the Bluetooth block with the previously added wires or headers. Trim off the excess length on your wires or headers with a cutter, and your Bluetooth should be good to go. Next, we'll be moving to the power block. To prevent any short circuit, apply some isolating tape on the base of the block. Align the pins on your power block with the previously connected wires or headers on the MCU block. Apply solder to bond the pins on your power block with the wires or headers on the MCU, and this part should also be ready. For this project, we chose to include an EMG sensor as well, which will sit above the power block as shown in the picture. Solder a small wire to one of the free analog inputs on the MCU block. This is where the sensor output will go. Next, add a few wires as well to the pins marked as AVCC, AVSS, and AGND on the power block. To bond the sensor with the power block and also to prevent short circuits, in this case we're using double-sided adhesive foam tape. Now, fix the sensor to the power block. Instead of the adhesive tape, you can also use hot glue or other type of bonding agent. Solder each wire to the corresponding pin on the EMG sensor block and your system should be ready to use. Hook up a battery to your system and you should now be able to experience the wonders of muscles and motion in a stamp-sized device. For increased protection, we chose to wrap up our unit in heat shrink tubing. If you choose to do the same, you may want to score the heat shrink tube around the plug so you can easily connect and disconnect the EMG leads. And this is our final product! Now all the team at BITalino is excited to see you go freestyle as well and hear about your cool projects.